Hey, 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 happy Tuesday! Happy Transitions Tuesday. So, what comes to mind when I say transitions? Your interpretation is just as valid as mine. And transitions, they can often be interpreted in several different ways, right? Countless, really. From from life's transitions in new chapters or new experiences to COVID times to transitions in the way we think or the way we speak or the way we act or different habits that we take up. It seems endless, right? And we are often in transition. So we are probably very capable of transition and we might not realize it. What I was thinking about more specifically today, at least for today, is talking about transitions in the sense that transitioning into new ways of implementing gratitude practices in our lives. So, this big week of Thanksgiving in America, the theme is always here. So, why not take it and grow from it? Start it now when people have it on the mind. Why not? So, I want to talk about three different ways that I find to be very awesome ways of practicing gratitude, and maybe you could pick one up. Number one, the first one is coming to our senses. Come to the senses. Ah, man, if we just think about it, it's so simple, but the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to touch and smell and taste, if we tap into these senses more often, sometimes that can be done. It is something that can be done anywhere, and we don't need to have any tools at all to use it. We just need ourselves and our minds. How cool is that? Powerful. If we focus on our senses, we are actually reminded ourselves of the blessings it is to be human. And it is quite a blessing. And to be able to experience life in the miracles and gifts that are in life. Our bodies are gifts, and we often don't take the time to remember how fortunate that we really are. Think about it. Oh my gosh, the last time you saw a sunset or a sunrise, the way it felt, or take this little orange or clementine or mikan or whatever you'd call it. Taste, smell. Oh my gosh, there's so much beauty in that little thing. And maybe you're laughing at me like, oh, crazy person, but it's the little things. We say that, but we don't really get back to it. Or take these flowers. It's the little things. Now, these ones don't smell or anything, but they are beautiful and they do brighten up the day. Why else do people get flowers? Since they don't smell, that also could be a gratitude blessing, a grateful thing, because some people don't like the certain smell or what have you. You can take the most simple, basic things and make life a little sweeter. Anyways, so get back to your senses. Number two would be the second thing I would recommend that we practice is um, it's an example that comes from Marie Teresa, Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa spoke about her gratitude for being able to help others because it allowed her to grow and strengthen her spirituality. And gratitude for being able to provide and offer something to someone else opposed to focusing on what we receive. I think that's a true gift, a true giving spirit. And now, how about that for the simplest way to practice gratitude? And also, you simply just have to remind yourself. You can do it anywhere you're at. Remind yourself in the moment, or say it to yourself out loud, or write it down in your journal, or even speak it into your phone. Like, I do a lot of voice memos, just memos to myself about reminders of things or things I want to write in my journal later and expand on. Or, yeah, the third that I wanted to talk about was the most common might be a gratitude journal. Maybe you've heard of this, I'm sure you have. It's a place for reflecting and reminding ourselves of the moments that bring us joy and smiles and goodness and grace and all the things. And all you have to do is pick a simple life event. Oftentimes I write about the day before and just pick some highlights of the things that brought me joy and that I'm grateful for, that I'm like that I reminisce about being a happy moment. Yogi, hello. What are you grateful for today? I'm grateful that you're there and hopefully you're having a wonderful day. But yeah, do you have a gratitude journal or a place that you reflect about the things that are good and great and maybe not so great, and then reflecting on how to make them a lucky opportunity to find gratitude and move forward? So I like these little journals I got in Japan. They're from the Hyakuen shop and it's just cute and short, and I have a million of them piling up. but there's an option. So here's a little incentive if you don't already have one to start a gratitude practice. Robert Emmons, the world's leading scientist expert on gratitude, is aware that people can find things like gratitude journals and other gratitude practices. They can find them to be too simple. And I would add here, what's wrong with simple? What's wrong with basic? I think that we should get back to the basics. Get back to that basic. We often or always, we need that basic foundation, but we typically allow ourselves to get caught up thinking that things have to be more complex or more difficult for them to be meaningful and useful or worth our time. And I don't agree with that. The concept of journaling or practicing gratitude, it might be simple, but it's not always easy. Like any habit, it's hard to find the time or make the time and remember to create those habits around the things that can benefit our lives, even when we want the practice to be a part of our lives. It takes intentional effort. So a little more about Emmons' research. They often have people keep a gratitude journal for 3 short weeks with overwhelming results. They've had overwhelming results. The study was done of over 1,000 people ranging from the age of 8 to 80, and they found that those who took the time to practice gratitude regularly reported a wider range of benefits to their physical, psychological, and social health. And from my own experience, practicing consistent daily gratitude for several years, I can now say that I think some of those same factors are common to my life that I'm leading now, that are included in the study. For example, I've noticed physically I have felt my immune system is stronger, and that's a benefit you can get from gratitude. I haven't had a cold in years, and I wasn't really thinking about it, but I was getting really bad colds for years. And when I started practicing gratitude, and there's no conclusive evidence that that's the only reason why, but for years I haven't had a cold. Knock on wood. Superstitions. Also, physically, I'm less bothered by aches and pains, and I feel like I sleep longer and better and feel more refreshed when I wake up. So possibilities, if you start practicing gratitude, these things can happen. Psychologically, I feel higher levels of positive emotions. Call me Pollyanna, I don't care, I have nothing against it. Glad, glad, glad. And also, I tend to experience more joy and pleasure and more optimism and happiness overall. Something I think gratitude really helps with. Socially, Yogi, you still there? Hello. Socially, from gratitude, I try to be more helpful. I feel like that. I feel I'm trying to be more generous and more compassionate, also more forgiving, and I'm also more stress resistant. That is huge for me. Like, I feel less stress. I still feel stress. I am no saint, and I still have my own issues, but there are so many benefits to practicing gratitude and many other ways to practice gratitude. One could go on, as I tend to be doing here. But I was wondering, hey, Mike, simple is better. Yes, back to basics. But the three that I mentioned today are just great starts. And if you don't already have a practice, those are possible ways to start. If not, do you have a practice? What is your practice? I would love to hear and listen to your experience with your practice of gratitude. And please share. I'm sure others would love to hear as well. Anyways, thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing anything about gratitude that you would like to. I'd love to continue this conversation, and why not give it a try? Practice a little daily gratitude, even if it's just thinking a little more about it every day. Cheers to you, and be grateful. I'm grateful you're here. I can't find the button.